now. It is May 23rd, 2012. It is Wednesday. The time is approximately 7:30 p.m. We're broadcasting here live from Pershing Square in downtown Los Angeles, California. We are here at the Occupy Los Angeles General Assembly, which is about to begin. We are today celebrating the return of our heroes, our peaceful warriors from Chicago who are protesting NATO. The theme of the GA is gonna be a recap. People are gonna recap and let us know what happened. Look at that face! Look at that face! Oh, I feel so loved. Ah, tuck hug. Hey, I'm not really back. I just came for the day because I'm so excited.
I've been seeing your name online, and it's got me thinking on you. How's everything at school going?
It's really, really overwhelming and stressful, and I should be doing right now. I should not be here. I should be doing my work, but.
Thank you for coming.
But if there's no other live streamer, and if there was a live streamer, I'd probably be at school watching.
Yeah, watching your bros.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
It's cool. I'm glad to see some fresh faces and
we have new occupiers. People from Occupy New York and Chicago and other states have come to Occupy Los Angeles. They moved here, and they'll probably be sleeping downtown or at Venice.
Where?
Either in Skid Row or Venice.
In Venice. Okay.
Yeah, those are the answers I've been at. Everybody who looks friendly, I've been asking them, what their plans are and stuff, and that's what I'm hearing. A lot of beautiful new energy here with us. Yeah. All right, I gotta go. It sounds like the GA started. I gotta get over here.
We will be making Councilwoman Perry the poster child for feeding intolerance, just in time for her mayoral run. Yeah!
So once again, if you want to make an emergency announcement, please
Message on the cup.
If anyone has the principles of solidarity and wants to recite them, can I get volunteers?
When is it?
Love, acceptance, and mutual respect. Don't forget that part. Thank you.
Engaging in direct and transparent participatory democracy.
Exercising personal and collective responsibility.
Exercising personal and collective responsibility. Recognizing individuals' inherent privilege and the impact it has on all interactions.
Recognizing individuals' inherent privilege and the impact it has on all interactions. Redefining how labor is valued. Redefining how labor is valued. The sanctity of individual privacy.
The sanctity of individual privacy.
Believe that education is a human right.
Education is a human right.
And endeavoring to practice and support wide application of open source.
Endeavoring to practice and support wide application of open source. Woo! Real quick, we can thank Wall Street and some of our comrades that are here from Wall Street for that. Great. So excited. Any other announcements? Before we go to report back, so we're just going to do a little debrief.
Hi, Ria.
Anyone who has experiences, please see the stackers. Griff is on stack for now. Wait, is this a debrief? Yeah. Well, right now we're on Sorry, Jessica.
So I just want to say that I'm very thankful to Meg Taylor for bringing the food to us today. I don't know where she's at right now. I just want to say we went to go feed some other people. Okay, awesome. I just want to say that I see cups and plates that belong to her just standing around. I've managed to pick some up and put them in their trays, but I wish that everyone could please be respectful and thankful to her. So if we can please all make sure that we pick up her plates and her cups and put them back in their trays, that would be awesome. Because she did a lot for us today. So
Plates and cups and silverware are over there in the bins over there.
Okay, so unless there's any more announcements, we're going to move to report back from NATO. ¿Alguien necesita traducción? Anyone need translation?
maybe? Just go for it.
I'll start it off.
Shakti, emergency
Stackers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anthony Garcia Stackers. I have 13 more.
Oh, cool.
This is just actually just an announcement that we have now 10 people on hunger strike. We're mixed principals. And if anybody else wants to join us, that'd be great. Take one day a week. And if you're interested, you could do your fast in different ways. Set up to sundown if you want to draw or something like that. Anyway, just see me afterwards. I think the more people we have, the better. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, so first to report back, where's Alyssa?
The trip was awesome, fucked up, and crazy. It all started with the bus ride, which I'm going to leave to Laura, who was an awesome bus captain. With all that chaos, she put that shit together because the nurses union, or whoever 99 Solidarity is, they fucked up. So each of us have little pieces of what went on because we weren't all together all the time.
We had Central Convergence at a church.
Mic check.
We had a Central Convergence at a church not too far from the protest. We had 3 days of protest, and all the protests went well. There were a lot of people who were beaten. Some were arrested. They had an LRAD parked down the street from us. Also, I mean, the cops, they used state police instead of regular police to beat people at the NATO protest. And later on, they would use regular police to beat people at the protest after following the NATO protest. The other protests, nobody got hurt. Nobody got arrested, I don't think.
Well, the night before NATO on the Wildcat March, 20 protesters were hospitalized, 21 with Jack, 14 were arrested. They had brought in 800 NYPD officers. Almost all the people arrested and injured were Occupy Wall Street. Jack from Occupy Wall Street, when the cop rolled through the protest with his van, as opposed to the motorcycles that we get, he saw him and hit the gas. Wow. And then he stopped, realized he hit him, and he hit the gas.
Wow.
It was very scary. Their comrades were very upset. I've never seen so many fucking cops in my entire life. They were everywhere. They had listening devices. We had tails. They had 15 pass vans of cops on every fucking block. And on the first day, they let us do what we wanted. The second day, they implemented like small, acts against us, which was the 14 arrested and the 20 put in the hospital. And they were wearing a little bit of riot gear. On the third day, they showed up in dragon suits, ready to fuck shit up. So we learned that maybe on the first day they watch us, on the second day they do a training drill, and on the third day they try and fuck us up.
They implement a full strategy.
Chicago, this is a shout out to Occupy Chicago. They extended their hospitality to us. For that, I want to thank them. They were fucking awesome. Also, I like to stand in I like to thank everybody who stood in solidarity with us at Chicago, including our good friends at OWS. And on a lighter note, 75,000 people showed up for this protest. And that concludes our report back.
Jack, I have Adam, and I encourage anyone who has something to share. We can really learn from each other, so please get on stack and share your experience.
Adam, you should share.
right here, well, this young man and this young lady right here held it down. Held it down through very trying conditions. Why you hiding, Lulu? I got you. Held it down. Basically, we went. We arrived, like they said, there was problems with housing. Occupy Chicago did their best. They didn't really get the word until late. Thank you, Nurses United, useless ass union, fake union, busted ass union. So, we went down with my people, the anti-eviction campaign. We ended up south at a house down south. We ended up taking back a house, moving everything out. I'd like to give a shout out to Boobies if he's watching. We love you. We miss you. He went back to Texas. He did a great job. Like, everybody was so impressed. Yeah, Carl, Boobies.
Iraqi war vet.
Yeah. Best guy in the world, man. But, basically, when we had the beautiful protest, and I know you saw the veterans and had them throw their medals back. I hope you did. It was one of the most powerful things I've ever seen. Like, I literally was moved to tears. And then the riot pigs started moving across the median. You know, at first they had their badges on, their names, they were on Velcro. They took them off as soon as it was over. The veterans said, please disperse west. The kids dressed in black moved north. I say kids yet again. Okay, kids in pajamas with Halloween masks. All right, that's real. That's real. This black, they shut down the entire city for this imagined black bloc. All right, so they pushed to the front. I'm sitting here. I got the CNN reporter between me and the cops, of course. So I'm sitting here holding the camera over it, and all of a sudden they're yelling at the cops or something, going back and forth. Kid walks up, they're like, shields. Kid walks up to the front, he doesn't get his shield up. Crack, and it was over. They were swinging wildly at everyone in the crowd. All right, they smacked the CNN reporter next to me, sent him flying into me. I'm sitting here like, yo, let's get out of here. He's like, no, how could you do this, officer? I'm like, okay, motherfucker, whatever. So we're getting pushed around. I'm sitting back and forth. They're swinging at everybody. You know, I get to the meeting, we see like, we see women, we see moms holding babies in the crowd. I mean, we do what we can to get them out. We hit the barricades. I hit the barricades. At least I'm hopping over them motherfuckers. I'm not getting crushed. So we hopped over them. It was just insane. I'll give you an example. I'm not going to run through the whole story. I'll give you an example. I'm down on Wabash. Wabash and Cermak. This is my city. This breaks my heart to see this bullshit in my city. You know, there's this kid, he's bleeding through his head. I'm carrying him to try to find a paramedic. He's bleeding all on the side of his fucking body. And do they bring a paramedic? We get surrounded by 100 riot pigs. And they ain't using the little billy clubs. No. They ain't the little billy clubs. These are big, oak, baseball bat ass sticks. All right? But we get surrounded by these assholes. And then the real CPD, the ones that actually interact with the people, because those are mostly sheriffs, a lot of imported NYPD, LAPD too, thank you, wherever you are. You know, and a lot of different cities sent police, Secret Service, Homeland Security, shit, I saw special forces all over, all right? So anyway, we get surrounded, the real CPD shows up, they pull this kid out, their faces were shocked to see that this black bloc, these evil terrorists that they shut their city down for, were a bunch of fucking kids. They put this kid in the ambulance, you should have seen their faces. We succeeded. We got our asses kicked, but we won a victory. We didn't shut down NATO, but we weren't gonna do that shit anyway. What we did is show people the lengths that NATO and the police state in general, the military industrial state will go to keep its power.
Yeah!
So we won. All power to all people.
All power to all people!
I just want to say how beautiful and how intense and frightening and powerful that this weekend was. When I went there, I was shitting in my fucking pants. I've never been to a protest this big. I did not know what the fuck to expect. All I was hearing is, this is a cop, this is a cop, this is a cop. I'm like, fuck, all these motherfuckers on the bus are cops. And then I was hearing, I'm gonna get tear gas, I'm gonna get mace, fucking sound cannons and shit, National Guard. I was like, I'm not gonna make it, but it's okay. And I learned that all these people with me are supporting me. They are my family. I don't have a family. This is my family. You are all my family. And
even though, I don't know, these were all fresh faces, but over time, I get to see all the beauty in everybody's faces and all the trust that I have and all the support. And I would love to thank Adam, brother Adam, because he did so much for us, so much. Like, we went in there, no housing. Chicago, I've never fucking been there. No housing, no money for food, no transportation. Brother hooked us up with all that shit. No need to worry. But, so I'm gonna give the account of what happened when me and my girlfriend were in the front line. So we basically marched in there to the Black Bloc, which was completely disorganized, but it's okay. Kids in pajamas, understandable. But, so we go stupidly to the front where it's all blocked. Tons and tons of pigs and horses and barricades. While our dumbasses could have gone to the left, we went straight where it's already established. But still, my girlfriend has horrible, horrible, horrible asthma. She had asthma on a march, just a simple little march. So I was freaking out. We all locked arms and we were going forward. Motherfucker, we were not prepared for that shit. No one had shields, no one had anything. We were just by ourselves. So we kept pushing back, pushing up, pushing back. Bad idea. Could not move, could not breathe. I was wearing the stupid little shit. Could not take it off. Like, and then somehow we got split up, and then we start moving each other and pushing to the side, and no one was able to breathe. Yay! Give a light. Shit's stressful. Thank you.
Yeah!
And then so we got split up. I'm on the opposite end. People start pushing. I'm like, oh fuck, B. So I go back. I see she's on the floor, like sweating and her tears, her makeup, and she's like, like we just watched a movie before with Che. We were all making fun of him because he was like, like having an asthma attack. She was basically her, like him, sitting on the floor. She could not breathe. There's like medics all around her, and I was like, move! And I'm like, I'm even hitting medics. I'm like, get the fuck out of the way! Get the fuck out of the way! And it like, but they basically moved her out, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna stay. And then I did not know what happened, but until someone with the camera told me what happened, because at that point you don't know what the fuck is happening. You're just like, ah! And then like, the guy with the camera said he saw a cop. Well, a cop was like, he hit me with a baton, and I fell down. And then I don't know what happened. We're like moving, and then like, apparently a big ass fucking black cop, like this big, he just like kicks me, and I fall on like 10 fucking fat guys. And then I was like freaking out because I was with the girl who got arrested from Occupy Wall Street. 16-year-old sweetheart, amazing, intelligent, beautiful girl. Like, she was there, she did this to the cops. I was like, bad idea. They started kicking her and hitting her, and they tried pulling her out because she's a little agitator. They tried pulling her out. I'm the only one trying to pull her back. No one, everybody else is like freaking the fuck out. There's a huge gap. I'm like trying to pull her back, but I couldn't. And then they tried grabbing me by my bag and my arms and shit. And I was like, fuck this, danger zone, no support. I bounced when I was on top of those guys. I just started crawling like beneath people's legs and like pushing people to get me the fuck out. So I left. We could not find the girl. We could not find B. And she was at the medic. And I don't know, at that point, it was so sad for me. It was so sad at night, even though we all finally met up hours later, hours after, like, is she fucking okay? What happened to her? Like, what happened to everybody? We were chilling by the medics. I went by the medics looking for her for like an hour. What the fuck did I see? I saw men just laid up by the alleyway. Tons and tons of fucking men with their heads dripping with blood on the floor. Puddles and puddles of blood. And their noses bleeding. All fucking corners of their faces were just bruised and bleeding. And it was just like tons and tons of them. It was like a horror zone. It was a war zone. It was disgusting because they weren't even doing anything. And then when we went home, I could not walk. I lost my shoes in there. Like, and I don't have them. And I felt like we were beat. I really felt like we could not get back up, and this was the end of it. This is the end for anarchists, for revolutionaries, for anybody who wants a different world. Because just not even being able to walk, we're just like, fuck, we got beat up. We can't do this anymore. But then V told me, this is just the beginning. We're still here. It doesn't fucking matter if we got arrested. It doesn't matter if I got fucking hit. There's gonna be more of us. We're gonna inspire everybody to come with us. Anywhere, we're still fucking here. We're making a new
Josh came in. He drug her all the way down there, got her in there. Besides all the excellent organizing he was doing, he just doesn't like to speak in front of people, apparently. So, thank you, brothers and sisters. Thank you, Josh.
Next on staff is Laura, and I've seen a lot of familiar faces that are native to LA talking, so I also just want to encourage our friends from other occupations. Laura!
Hey! There she is, Laura!
Bus trip.
Love you, though. So what? I still love you, though.
Bus captain.
I love you.
We got dropped off. There's no real direction of anything to do or where to go. They kind of just herded it all around town to different marches. The amount of infiltration at this organized event was beyond anything of my most paranoid dreams or anything I'd ever seen before. What was most disturbing to me was me and Benji and Tina and a couple other people decided to be medics unmarked. And what we noticed while trying to treat people in the crowd was that there were people that were marked as medics that were not medics, but police officers.
It's very true.
At
They
one,
were blocking alleys and side exits constantly.
they were blocking exits. At one point, a woman whose face had been smashed open, she had a cracked skull, blood squirting out of her face. The first thing you're supposed to do is make sure that you're safe to treat the patient. The second thing you're supposed to do is treat the first wound that you see, the biggest wound that has the most blood in layman's terms, and to keep the patient calm and to ask them questions. Now, this girl had a pupil pinned, a pupil dilated. She could not answer her name. She could barely speak a word. And before I could even get the gauze on her face, we lifted her up off the ground, which is a big no-no. Big no-no. And dragged her across the police line because she was dressed as Black Hawk. I watched a cop make the conscious decision to run over a person, and the amount of cops that just chose on their own just to beat people was unreal to me. And I think you're going to hear a lot more shit just like that very soon. So you should hear some of from our ODBS people.
Thank you,
Thank
Laura.
you.
Thank you, Laura.
Laura.
Point of love.
Next on staff we have Naomi from...
I know.
Naomi!
Naomi, check. Naomi, check. Naomi, check. Go for it.
So I don't know how many of y'all know me, but I'm one of a handful that got kind of the rug pulled under us, or that we were kind of thrown under the bus in terms of this trip. I am from Occupy Oakland. And the reason I mention that is because it has been a pleasure and an honor to come down to LA just to get up to Chicago. And the entire trip, though there were moments that were incredibly intense and challenging, I want to tell you that I was one of a handful of people that every time they raided us in Oakland, I never left. So I've met people from all across the world that have come to Oakland. But this trip for me was the first time that I got to connect with everyone else in another city, elsewhere. And time after time when people visit us in Oakland, they're like, oh, we want to learn. What can you teach us? And every time I say, what can you teach me? How can you inspire me? It is both ways. That to me is solidarity. It goes both ways. And that is by and large what this trip was for me. To go out into the streets of Chicago and know that my back was covered by every last one of us on this trip. And I will tell you, there was a moment when, and Lulu spoke earlier, there was a moment I was actually upstairs checking out as a legal observer with NOG above the Wellness Center. And I was freaking out because I saw a lot of the arrests. I was documenting a lot of the abuse, and I was freaked the fuck out. I walked down knowing that I was going to sweep through and meet up at some of our fallback points that we had arranged in our affinity groups. But even before I left, I came downstairs, and there was a crew of us there, having the same thoughts, the same conversations, that we were in a fucking war zone. And yeah, I'm from Oakland, so yeah, it's kind of like meh. But no, there was
was some fucked up bullshit happening there, and there was a lot of fear. There was a lot of abuse. We were outside of our comfort zones, all of us. To walk down that building, walk down those stairs, and immediately walk out into a crowd of us that traveled together. And no, I haven't walked the same path with y'all. I'm not even from the same city. Fuck the borders. I walked out, and we were all concerned about each other. Yeah! We all wanted to know, are you okay? Have you seen so-and-so? Have you seen so-and-so? Were they arrested? Are they hurt? How can we find each other? So we hopped on a bus and tried to, in fact, go to these fallback points, to find each other, to get that roster going so that we knew we were not leaving anyone behind. Right. So again, I want to tell you, it's been a pleasure and an honor to travel together and stand together and to resist together.
Mic check!
Mic check!
What do we do when we're under attack? I'm Pastor Preston, Oakland Commune, Oscar Grant Plaza, Occupy Oakland Peacekeeper, Interfaith Pastor, Occupy Nationwide, Interfaith Nationwide, Occupy Faith Pastor. It was an honor and a privilege to be in Chicago because I had fun Saturday night of leading a 5,000 plus Occupy march down the FTP march. We started FTP march. The young lady that just spoke, Naomi, was doing a visual. OPD raided the camp. Because of that is how FTP got created. Every Saturday night we march. And we wear OPD ragged. There we go. I'm a community organizer. I've been doing social justice since 1984. Today is my 55th birthday.
Happy birthday!
And for the joke, in my middle ages, is the best birthday present I could ever get.
Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday, Mr. Pastor! Happy birthday to you! Love you! Pastor! Love you!
Hello, hello, Occupy!
Hey, I got something to say. This is my man, Busy.
You got sax?
Oh, by the way, the OWS doesn't follow the GA.
Okay,
Sorry, found out. All right, next up stack is Tony. Also, I'm progressive stacking other occupations. Is that okay with everyone?
Okay. So we gotta help them learn the process, guys.
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
One of my favorite quotes is... You know how to do it now. One of my favorite quotes is by George Orwell. It's, in times of universal deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act. So each and every one of you is a revolutionary. Don't let everybody out there kid you. Just because I say you guys don't fucking matter, it doesn't mean you guys really don't fucking matter. It doesn't matter, like, if you have jobs and you come out here, it doesn't fucking matter. If you're doing this, whether at home or here, you're a fucking revolutionary, okay? If you put something that's not on the mainstream news on your Facebook, you're being watched by the FBI. That's simple. Yes, we don't do the General Assembly in New York, it's on organized chaos, but through social media, where people like you can go to their social media and just see what we're up to while we sit there and get beat on the streets and can't sleep. And, like, you can't sleep in New York. You can't. Like, we have sleep deprivation all the time. Like, we're still coming out of it a little bit. You get the shakes. It's horrible. Like, you were on the front lines of the fucking police state. We went to Chicago expecting war. Yeah, exactly what we got there and what we saw. And we saw. I guarantee. I saw one undercover who was a medic. I didn't recognize it at first, but once I started hearing people talk about undercovers and medics, I saw the guy when I got arrested my first day in New York City. Undercover in the police station talking to other undercovers.
And Leslie has pictures.
It's dead fucking serious, people. Like, there's no more fun and games. We are at war now. They have declared war. They have stated they're not out to arrest us anymore. They're just gonna beat us until we fucking quit. But we know when they fuck us, the harder they fuck us, the more of us come out of the fucking woodwork. Woo! So let them and keep dodging batons for the next several bits a month. I still haven't got hit yet. I don't know how. I have no idea how. But like, we have to keep taking this beating. We have to. Well, I fly a black flag, but I don't like my white one. It's dirty. I'm a pacifist in the black bloc. I go out there just to make sure other people are safe. This shit's terrifying. Like hearing the stories about it, like, it's really bringing me to shame. This was the most intense thing I have ever experienced in my life. I have pictures of bloody glasses I picked up off the ground. And we experienced that in New York. On May Day, they did the exact same thing. The permanent march did its thing. Then when people started spreading out, sorry. Yeah. They did the same thing on May Day that they did in Chicago. The permanent march was allowed to do its thing, completely go by, while more and more police kept corralling down. They just followed you down there until you had a wall completely around you. On May Day, shortly after May Day, we went to a park. We were told to evacuate the park, and they split us off completely, just like they did in Chicago. Their tactics are, we're seeing them over and over again. So when you hear people in the marches start calling stuff out, you have to listen. You have to listen. And if you don't know what's going on, please don't call anything out. I know people have been hurt just by people in the march being confused. And we can't keep doing that. If you don't know what's going on, please don't call it out. If you're re-experiencing something, or you're seeing something where you are, clarification, or if you don't, you can talk to somebody. We need our communication in the marches. Because the people that were leading the marches in Chicago were not from Chicago. Yeah. No, they were not. Nobody from Chicago was in the front of those marches. We were going blind everywhere.
Boink, boink, boink.
Everywhere. And everywhere we turned, there was a wall of cops. Everywhere. Like, you could not escape the cops. And when we were telling people to run, nobody would run. People would stand there and yell, slow down, slow down. No! When you're in the street on a permanent march, walk as slow as possible. Get your time with the march. But when it's just you and the cops, it's war. Run! They're not going to arrest you. They're going to beat you. Alright? Like, I've been to Dallas where we luckily didn't get beat that bad. We just had a lot of stupid people. We did Troll Fest in Dallas with 500 of them all at once. And then I went to Wall Street and I saw it, man. Like, we need to start, like, every week, like you said, every week march. I'm sorry, I'm from New York. I haven't been this lifted in a minute because this is the greatest state on the planet. They are not letting us. They are keeping us from staying in the most beautiful spot in this country. Yeah. Fuck them. The people should have this fucking state. And my fucking brother got his ribs broken by a motherfucking cop. He's the fucking veteran. Purple Heart got his fucking ribs broken by a cop, man.
Fuck them! Fuck the cops! Fuck them!
Woo!
Love you! It's okay, man. Spreading truth. We're spreading truth. Keep spreading truth.
Viva la revolución!
Viva la revolución! Viva!
I think we should start chanting.
Griff is next on stack?
Rip!
So make this sick, I gotta take off soon.
Tough love!
Everything.
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check.
Okay, I just want to say I've never seen that many cops in my life ever either. There was Secret Service, there was Department of Homeland Security, there was Chicago PD, and then there were these other officers that came from out of state. You couldn't walk anywhere without running into a cop. I mean, anywhere. They were standing in front of every other store. If you had any weed on you, you're brave. I mean, because there was cops all around you. I want to say thank you to Occupy Chicago for helping feed us and house us and everything, because the nurses did screw us over. I don't know what's the deal with that and how we're going to work with them in the future, but Occupy Chicago, they stood up for us and they helped us out, so definitely give them props. I'm gonna say that we started out with a bang on Friday. We started, me and a couple occupiers from DC, Wall Street, from Atlanta, and from all over. We separated from a group of over 100 or so who were waiting for the bus because the nurses union stood us up.
And we just took the streets of Chicago on Friday, and we just marched down the streets and opened up the weekend that way and let people know that, hey, we were here.
LA was a town.
Yeah, it was cool. And then Saturday, that's when you had the anarchist march, and on Sunday, that's when the gloves were off, and people were prepared. People were prepared to go into war. And I just want to say, the Black Bloc, you guys are fucking warriors, not just for putting up with the bullshit you have to put up with from the police, but from wearing black, all black in hot ass fucking weather. I was like, how are they not passing out and fainting? I'm not even wearing that much black, and I'm not ready for that. But you guys are warriors, and the solidarity that we built from occupiers all over the nation, it just goes to show you that we all got that same blood, that same passion, that same fight in us. And this is the beginning of a beautiful revolution. Yes. I'm so happy.
Next up deck is Envy from Occupy Wall Street.
What's up, Occupy? All right. Just to keep it short about the protest, NATO. It's true what everybody else was saying about how it was unorganized and things, and we all march in solidarity all together, and we all hold it tight. And I guess the most beautiful thing about that protest was getting all the other occupations there for one thought, and then leaving. People started splitting up and going to different cities from different occupations, and that's very special to have people just go for other occupations in solidarity with other people to meet and march together. So I don't really want to talk about the NATO or anything about that. I want you guys to know that I'm here in solidarity with you guys, and I'm ready to march and protest hard with you guys.
What's his name? I can't hear you. Can you mic check?
One of the things about what happened on Sunday during the NATO thing was that there was this really great march that went to, kind of like a block away from the summit. It was a permanent march. We met at the park. It was really beautiful. There's some really great speeches given there. And then we all marched. It was like thousands of people there. I think the news said there was a couple hundred. There was thousands of people in the streets of Chicago that day. And we marched all the way down right near where the summit was being held. And then the veterans had a little rally there. They threw away their medals because of how fucked up everything is in the military industrial complex, and how fucked up what they did was. So there's a lot of veterans out there who were duped by what the government told them, and have given up their medals. And that was great. But that was it. And that's not shutting down NATO. It's not. That's having this very symbolic, very beautiful rally. But I came down to Chicago to shut down NATO, and that's exactly what I did with several hundreds of other people who felt exactly like me. Were we the most organized people? No. There's lots of problems. What are the problem cops in the crowd? Yes. But you know what? I came down to shut down NATO, and when we pushed forward to get to where the summit was, that's exactly what I wanted to be doing. And yeah, we got our asses kicked, and it sucked to see my comrades being pulled down by the cops and then being beat over and over again. I had to pull people out.
Hi, Jeannie. Hi, we hope.
Fuck the police!
Fuck the police!
Fuck the police! For what they did! For what they did on Sunday, for what they did on Saturday, for when they drove over a Jag, from OWS when they beat people on Saturday, and then again on Sunday when they pull people down and just beat them until they were bleeding and people were getting pulled out of there with blood gushing down their faces. It was horrifying. And I didn't want to be at the front at that point. I was like, this is fucked up. This is why you bring shields. Like, I'm sorry. This is why you bring shields. Because you would get your ass beat. And that's what happened. And it was really sad and I was really traumatized. We lost one of our comrades. He thought he was arrested for almost the entire day because he just couldn't find him because we were separated. And it was really traumatic. But then later that night we marched again. It was a Wildcat March. We marched in the streets all over Chicago. We took an intersection outside of the Art Institute, Chicago. We were there for a while. We had, an Occupy thing. We had a GA. We decided to march again. We marched some more. And then, you know what? We went to sleep, and then we woke up again and marched some more through the streets of Chicago. That's what we did. We went to the headquarters of Obama and his campaign headquarters.
Building on fire.
No, we didn't set the building on fire. But we definitely set up a little Occupy there. We had the drums. We smoked some weed. It was great. And I mean, it was a wonderful experience. I met a lot of really great revolutionaries out there because that's what we are. We're revolutionaries in the struggle, and we're gonna fight for a better world. And it is gonna be a fight, and we have to be ready for that. And so, I'm excited for the RNC, DNC, and all that other great actions are gonna be coming up. Because if anything, this makes me want to fight even more. Because and I know for a fact the cops are definitely the enemy. They may be part of the 99% or whatnot, but I'm sorry, they beat my comrades. And you know why they beat my comrades? Because they didn't want us to shut down NATO. They are protecting the military-industrial complex. They are protecting an institution that kills children. NATO kills children. They bomb other countries. And the police stood there and beat us for trying to shut down that meeting. And so they protect children killers. And for me, that's not okay. That's not a world I want to live in. So I will fight them every day for the rest of my life.